Ethan sat in the control room of the mining ship Nova Wind. His job was to monitor systems, scan for resources, and log all reports. Space was cold and silent, but he liked it that way. It gave him peace. One day, a strange signal broke through the comms. It wasn't human. The sound was soft, almost like music, but it made something stir deep inside him. He called the captain. Others gathered. Everyone listened. No one could understand the words, but they all felt the message. Something lonely, something sad, something calling for help. The ship traced the signal to a far-off system near a dying star. It was not on any chart. As they entered the system, they found a huge alien ship floating without power. Its shape was smooth and bright like silver stone. No weapons, no crew moving, just silence and that strange call. A team went aboard. The halls inside were tall and wide, filled with soft lights and symbols that moved slowly along the walls. Only one life sign showed. Deep in the center, they found her. She was tall and calm. Her skin was pale gold. Her eyes were dark and deep, like they had seen many lifetimes. She stood still, watching them. Not afraid, not angry, just watching. A device near her lit up and spoke, translated her words. "I am Selara Royal of the House of Ilven, last of my line. My people are gone," I called. I waited, and now you are here. Ethan stepped forward. He saw no threat in her, only pain and tiredness. He offered her food and water. She took it with quiet thanks. The captain allowed her on board Nova Wind. The scientists wanted to test her, study her. The leaders on Earth wanted answers, who she was, what she wanted. Was she a danger? But it was Ethan she chose to speak with most. He visited her often. He asked her about her home, her people, and her journey. She answered with grace and patience. "We were once many," she said one evening, "but war came. Stars burned. Now only I remain." Ethan listened. He told her about Earth, about music, oceans, and cities full of lights. She smiled faintly. "Your world still dreams," she said. "Ours stopped long ago." Over time, she walked the ship with him. Others still watched her with care, but she never harmed anyone. She asked questions, learned fast, and moved with quiet power. Her presence felt royal, not just in title, but in how she looked at things. How she spoke. How she carried pain without letting it crush her. One night, Ethan sat alone in a hallway. He thought no one was near. He stared at the stars outside and whispered to himself, "I wish I had a spouse like her." He heard a soft step behind him, turned. Selara stood there, looking at him. She did not smile, but her eyes held something deep. She said in a low voice, "Yes." Then she walked past him. Ethan sat frozen. He didn't know what she meant, but his heart beat faster. He felt something had changed, and far beyond them, the stars watched in silence. Unknown to them, others were watching too. Others who did not want peace. Others who would come soon. But for now, on a ship lost between systems, a man and an alien royal had found something rare, something true. After that night, things started to change. Selara spent more time outside her room. The crew gave her space, but still watched her. They did not fully trust her, but they feared her less. She moved like someone who had nothing to hide. She spoke to the crew when they spoke to her. She always answered with care, but never shared more than needed. Ethan met her every day. They talked in the engine bay, in the long halls, and sometimes near the viewing deck. She liked to watch the stars. She said they reminded her of songs her people once sang. "The stars never lie," she said one day. "They tell us where we came from, and sometimes where we go." Ethan asked her many things. About her ship, her people, the war that ended her world. She answered slowly. "We were strong," she said, "but we grew proud. We stopped listening. We thought we could not fall. When the end came, no one was ready." Ethan did not push her for more, just sat with her, sometimes in silence. On Earth, news of Selara's arrival had reached high command. Meetings were held, plans were made. Some feared she was a spy, others thought she was a gift, a way to learn from a lost race. They sent orders to the ship. They wanted full scans, long interviews, and full control over where she went and who she saw. The captain followed the orders, but he saw how Selara acted. She had not broken a rule. She had not harmed a soul. He trusted his crew, and he saw how Ethan looked at her. He knew something had changed. One evening, the captain called Ethan to his office. "You spend time with her?" he said. "Yes, sir." "You think she's honest?" Ethan nodded. "I do. She's not hiding anything. She's lost." "Maybe," the captain said. "But others don't see it that way. They're sending a team. They want to take her to a base, study her, keep her from the public." Ethan said nothing. He left the room and went straight to Selara. She was sitting near the window again. "They want to take you," he said. "I know," she answered. "I heard the message. You could run. We could help you." "No, if I run, they will chase me. It will bring fear. It will bring war. I will face them." The next day, the team arrived. 4 men and 2 women in dark suits. They took Selara to a locked room. They asked her many things. They tried to break her calm. But she stayed still, spoke clear, and never showed fear. Ethan watched through the glass. He wanted to stop them, but he knew he could not. Hours passed, then days. Finally, she was brought before a council, not on Earth, but on the ship, through live feed. Generals and scientists asked her why she came, what she wanted, what her goal was. "I wanted to be heard," she said. "I sent out a call. Not to rule, not to invade, to survive, to be known before my kind is lost forever." They asked if she had power. She said yes. They asked if she could fight. She said yes. They asked if she would. "Only to protect," she said, "not to harm." Many on the council stayed silent. They did not expect her words. They did not expect her to stand alone and speak with such calm. Ethan watched her. He saw her as more than an alien, more than a guest. She was something rare, strong without force, kind without fear. After the meeting, the ship grew quiet. Orders were held. The team was told to wait. Selara walked back to her room. Ethan met her in the hall. "You spoke well," he said. "I spoke the truth," she answered. He looked at her for a long time. "You're not like anyone I've ever met." "Hope not," she said, "because if there were more like me, there would be fewer stars left to see." The ship drifted on. Outside, the stars still shined, but inside, something was building. Not fear, not hate. Something else. Days passed after the meeting. The ship moved through deep space, slow and quiet. Selara stayed calm, but the mood on board had changed. People spoke less. They watched her more, some with interest, some with fear. A man named Brad, part of the science crew, started asking questions. Not just about Selara, but about Ethan too. He watched them. He listened to their talks, didn't like what he saw. He went to the captain. "She's pulling him in," Brad said. "He defends her more than his own kind." "She's done nothing wrong," the captain replied. "Not yet," Brad said. "But what if she does?" On Earth, fear grew. The leaders had seen Selara speak. They saw how calm she was, how strong. Some felt respect, others felt danger. One group, hidden from the public, made a plan. They sent a private message to Nova Wind. Their goal was clear. Take Selara, use her knowledge, or stop her if she refused. Ethan learned of this through an old friend who worked in Intel. She sent a short warning before the message was erased. Ethan rushed to Selara. "They're coming," he said. "Not to talk, not to study, to take you. Or worse." Selara stood still. She did not look shocked. "I knew this would happen," she said. "Fear always follows power. You have to leave," Ethan said. "I won't run, but I won't let them use me." Ethan looked around. "Then we fight." Shh. Selara shook her head. "No, not with guns, with truth." Shh. She walked to the main hall and called the crew. Her voice came through the ship's speakers. "I came here with no weapons. I asked for nothing. I gave knowledge. I answered questions. But now some want to take me, not because I did wrong, but because they fear what they don't control. I am not your enemy. I am not your tool. I am a voice from a lost people, and if I fall here, then we both lose." The crew stood in silence. Some looked away. Others nodded. The captain stepped forward. "You won't be taken," he said. "Not like that," Brad spoke up. "She's dangerous, We can't trust her. She's been here for weeks, Ethan said. She's shown more peace than most humans ever do. Words turned to argument. Sides formed. Some backed Selara. Others feared what might come. Then, before any decision could be made, alarms rang through the ship. An unknown vessel had appeared near them. It was large, black, and silent. The captain ordered shields up. The ship tried to move, but the engines slowed. Force held them in place. Selara looked at the screen. Her face went cold. They followed my signal, she said. You were the end of my world. They will not stop. Who are they? The captain asked. They call themselves the Kalon. They do not speak. They take. They destroy. They are not here to talk. Ethan stepped forward. What do we do? Selara turned. You must choose. Stand with me or run. But know this. If they win here, Earth will be next. The ship shook. A beam hit the side. No damage, but a warning. They were waiting. Selara walked to the center of the room. She raised her hand. Light formed around her fingers. I still carry what is left of my people. I can help. But only if you let me. The captain looked at his crew, then back at her. Do it. Selara's eyes glowed. She touched the ship's systems. Strange symbols flowed into the screens. The ship answered. Engines roared. Shields turned brighter. You gave it life, Ethan said. No, Selara replied. I reminded it how to live. The Kalon ship fired again. This time Nova Wind fired back. The battle had begun. And Selara was no longer just a guest. She was now their shield, maybe their last hope. Nova Wind shook again. Red lights flashed. Smoke rose from the side walls. The Kalon ship had more weapons, stronger shields, and faster systems. The crew ran between stations, trying to keep the ship together. Selara stood in the center of the command room. Her hands glowed with the same light as before. Her voice was calm. I can hold their fire, she said, but not forever. Ethan watched her. Her face showed no fear, only focus. She was not just helping them, she was leading them. The captain gave orders, weapons were fired, shields raised. The Nova Wind moved fast, dodging attacks, but it was clear they were outmatched. We can't win in a fight, the captain said. We need a new plan. Selara turned. They have a weak point. Deep inside their ship, can find it. But I must go there myself. You won't go alone, Ethan said. No, she answered. You must stay here. Keep this ship alive. If I fail, you must warn Earth. Ethan stepped closer. I won't let you walk into that alone. This is not your fight, she said. It became my fight the day you answered yes. Selara looked at him for a long moment. Then she gave a small nod. A small team prepared 2 pilots, 1 guard, and Selara. They flew a small shuttle out of Nova Wind, straight toward the enemy ship. Inside the Kalon ship, the halls were dark and cold. Machines moved along the walls like insects. No voices, no sounds. Only the hum of power. Selara led the way. Her hand touched the walls and the lights changed. She knew this place. Or at least, she knew how it worked. This design was stolen from my people, she said. They used what they took to build their war machines. They reached the core. It was tall and black, pulsing like a heart. Strange energy moved around it. This is their mind, Selara said. I can stop it, but it will try to stop me. She stepped forward. Light poured from her hands. The core reacted. Sounds rose. Machines came to life. The guard fired, holding them back. Selara screamed, but she did not fall. Her light grew stronger. The core cracked. The ship shook. On Nova Wind, the crew saw it happen. The Kalon ship stopped firing. Its lights dimmed. It began to drift. She did it, someone said. But then, a blast hit the shuttle bay. The team was still inside the enemy ship. The captain called out, "Get them back now." Ethan sat in silence. He felt her pain through the comlink. It was faint, but still there. A moment later, the shuttle broke free. Smoke poured from the side. The pilots were hurt, the guard was gone. Ethan ran to the bay. When the doors opened, Selara fell into his arms. Her skin was pale. Her hands shook. "You came back," he said. "I said yes," she whispered. "I meant it." Medics rushed in. They took her to the care room. Her body was weak, but her heart still beat. She had saved them. Hours later, the council called again. They had seen the fight. They had watched it all. They asked how she did it. They asked what she wanted in return. She gave a simple answer: trust. The council went silent. "We will speak again soon," one voice said. The call ended. Ethan sat by Selara's bed. She slept, breathing slow and deep. He held her hand. "You changed everything," he said. She didn't answer, but her hand moved slightly. Outside the window, the stars were still there, quiet, strong, endless. Nova wind drifted forward, not as a lost ship, not as a tool, but as a new symbol. A human and an alien royal had stood together, and the universe had watched. The hall was quiet as Selara stood before the council. The lights above her were bright, but she held her head high. She was no longer just a visitor from another world. She was now the official voice of her people. After long talks, many tests, and long hours of doubt, Earth had made its choice. They accepted her. Not just as a guest, but as an ambassador, as a trusted ally. Ethan stood at the edge of the room. He watched her with pride in his eyes. He remembered the day she arrived, broken and scared. Now she stood with strength, her voice clear, her purpose strong. He had seen her change, and he had changed with her. After the meeting, the council asked Ethan to stay. They offered him a high position, something many would fight for. A leader of exploration, commander of future missions. It was a role that could shape the future of Earth's reach into space. But Ethan looked at Selara. He thought of the time they had spent together, the danger they had faced, the secrets they had learned, the truths that had changed both of them. He knew where he belonged. "I thank you," he said to the council, "but my place is with her." There was silence, then quiet nods of respect. No more needed to be said. Soon after, a new ship was revealed. It was not like the ships before. It was built with the help of both worlds. Sleek lines, strong hull, systems that came from Earth and from Selara's world. It was a true mix of two minds, two hearts. Its name was carved in both languages. It meant new path. Ethan and Selara stood at the base of the ship. The engines hummed low, waiting. They turned to face the crowd. Porters, leaders, friends, strangers. Everyone had come to see this new step. "We leave today," Selara said, "not just to explore, but to understand." Ethan added, "We go forward together. It's not just as human and alien, but as partners." The ramp lifted. The door closed. The engines roared, soft at first, then louder. The ship rose into the sky, slow and smooth. Eyes watched as it climbed, then vanished into the stars. Earth watched, but not with fear. This time they looked up with hope. Hope for peace, for learning, for new friends in the dark places of space. In the months that followed, things began to change. Schools taught new ideas. Scientists shared knowledge with beings they had once feared. Borders that once divided began to open. The world felt bigger, but not as lonely. In the stars, Selara and Ethan moved from system to system. They met others. Some were kind, some were not. But they faced it all together. They were more than explorers now. They were proof that two worlds could choose to walk the same road. On Earth and on Selara's homeworld, a new story was told. It began with a whisper, a weak call across the stars, a signal many ignored, but two hearts had heard it, two souls had answered. Now, that whisper was no longer small. It had become a voice that echoed across the galaxies, and that voice said one thing: the future is not written in fear, but in trust. Not in power, but in unity. And not in silence, but in the voices of those brave enough to answer the call.